Hello people and welcome to episode 62. Wow, this one turned out really aggressive, because this time, besides the usual kinds of mods, there are also those which will tangle up the whole combat system with new concepts and mechanics, creating a completely new experience. It's like every time you think you have seen it all, people come up with new ideas. This is the power of modding. So raise your flags high and prepare for the revolution! The first mod will be a really good starter for the flames of our revolution, because it has a lot to offer. Character Behaviors Enhanced by Tsartar. This is not really a combat overhaul, but rather a bunch of new combat mechanics combined into one mod. Some of them will seem familiar from other smaller mods, but it's definitely a revolutionary combo. The first feature is underwater combat. Pretty self-explanatory. With this you will be able to show those pesky slaughterfish who's boss, or of course any new underwater creature added by mods. You can enter the water with your weapon drone, or use the sneak button to draw it while already underwater. You can even use shouts and magic. The only limitation is no left-hand attacks, no bows, and obviously no torches. The next feature is mid-air attack. Oh yes, finally it's possible to attack while jumping. I can't believe my eyes here. With this you can badassly jump off a cliff and smash down on your enemy, just like in Rain of Fire. Oh my god, this is so manly. It also works with magic and with bows. Next we have mounted casting. We can use weapons and bows from horseback in the vanilla game, but not spells. Now what kind of bull is that, right? And with this, horse combat will be an option, even as a mage. However, same limitations here, only the spells in your right hand will work. The next one is dual wield blocking. Well, this one is really simple and nothing new. Instead of the dual wield attack, you will perform a block by pressing the two attack buttons at the same time. Nothing special, I think this one should be optional. The next feature is blocking while staggering. Okay, this is something the player character is actually able to do in the vanilla game, but not the NPCs. And so, with combat mods which add a pain response mechanic, you can pretty much stagger lock your enemies to death. With this, they will be able to at least block to make it a little bit less overpowered. Next is attack feint to block. This means there will be a short time window before you actually swing your weapon to cancel the attack and turn it into a block. Useful if you and your enemy start swinging at the same time. Definitely saw this feature in one of other combat mods too. The next one is simply dodging. By pushing the sneak button you will be able to perform a dodge roll. You can also spin the camera while dodging and that way roll in an arc kinda. The forward roll didn't work for me and I got a backwards roll instead. Not sure if this is a bug or mod conflict or whatever. The next one is really cool. Delayed power attack. If you hold down the attack button, your character will enter this stance. And once you let go of the button, the rest of the power attack will be performed. You can move around in this charge state and even use magic with your left hand if you do this with a one-handed weapon in your right hand. This really opens up new combat strategies and adds much more depth to combat. Then we have a bunch of nifty third-person animation features, like player head tracking. Okay, the unique thing about it here is, it functions without scripts, unlike how it is in other mods. Then there's this one which adds an animation when you cancel the shot with your bow. It looks a bit buggy, but you will actually see your character put away the arrow. Then there's the slow movement while you are attacking. This one is actually for NPCs, since in the vanilla game they are not affected by it. Also, the spinning in the middle of an attack, which turns NPCs into aimbots, pretty much is fixed here too. There's also a faster get-up feature when you are knocked down included. So yes, this is definitely a huge mod with lots of interesting new mechanics. However, it is not compatible with FNIS and mods like TK Dodge, for example, because it alters the behavior files. So, in other words, there will also be no patch for this, apparently. So while this mod does offer many new features included in other mods, there might still be some FNIS mods you totally can't live without. So you will have to make a decision here. The next mod is from the Get Good or Die Trying series. Yeah, I just made it up. Critical Hit, Backstab and Parry by FB Plus and Mygin Dent. Two game mechanics straight out of Dark Souls. And just as a reminder, this mod for example requires Finis, so it won't work with the previous big one. Both moves work exactly like in Dark Souls, very smooth integration, I have to say. Backstab is self-explanatory, just circle around the enemy and attack from behind for massive damage. The parry attack is however much harder to perform because it requires precise timing. There is an MCM menu and you can choose whether only a power attack can be parried or normal attacks as well, and also the attack input time after a successful parry. But the actual aiming of your bash must be very specific to turn into a successful parry. I was also a bit distracted by the shield perks of Ordinator popping up here and there. Like, what was that? Is this a parry now, or what? Of course, something like this is not supposed to be pulled off easily. You know what they say, right? Just need to get good, that's all. Well, since we started talking about Dark Souls and all, here's some extra. Dark Souls Motion, Walk, Run and Sprint by GD Animations. These are supposed to be the movement animations similar to how they are in the Souls games, including walk, run, sprint and one-handed movement. I don't know, it looks kinda way too cheerful and carefree, especially with the weapon drone. Seriously, look at my character. Now this look like we are about to engage into a life-threatening fight? No, it's more like, we're going on the picnic, we're going on the picnic. Yeah, it just looks kinda goofy. Maybe it will look better on female characters, I guess so. So, what besides combat mechanics can we do to spice it up a little bit? How about a new spell mod? Ace Blood Magic by Ilias555. Blood Magic? Well, hello there, Mr. Dragon Age. Only that this one took it literally. Here all the visuals are extra bloody as well. The package contains 30 new spells, all with new visuals and interesting effects. First of all, Blood Magic has its price, of course, and it drains not only magicka but also your life. There are however also spells which will increase your abilities or heal you, like the Pool of Blood spell. You will need to feed it first, however. It will heal you based on the number of vampires you killed while this spell was active. Yes, here's the thing. Most of the spells in this package have extra effects against vampires, unless you download the non-anti-vampire version of it. But an anti-vampire Blood Knight build does sound damn cool to me. There is also, for example, a spell to detonate corpses to damage vampires, and that way prevent them from resurrecting those as thralls. Or for example, a spell to paralyze targets, and on vampires it will do extra damage. Another really cool spell is the Cursed Death. If a target dies under it, it will leave a blood orb behind. You can collect those to use them for special spells, like Life Orb, which will summon those orbs around you, and then they will automatically heal you when you take too much damage. That's a good way to deal with life point costs of those spells. According to the author, there are also some hidden combinations which will increase the effectiveness of those spells and add new visual effects. So, what can I say? This mod is definitely more than qualified to add a new heartbeat to the game and show those vampires that they indeed do suck. Yes, it's this time again. We obviously need some new monsters too. You know the drill, come on. Mermaids by Mihail. What did I say earlier about underwater creatures? That was a close one. Because despite being called mermaids, they are not all nice and friendly. Yes, forget this. Those are witcher-like mermaids. They are evil. They will fuck you up. Don't even think about it. No, don't look there. Look at the teeth. Does this look like fun? Look, I don't know why they aren't wearing any bras either. I didn't make it. Well, whatever, do what you want. Oh, and by the way, those creatures use water-based attacks, and the spells are added to the vendors, so you can get them too. And the next mod will give you Harpies. No, fuck, I mean Harpies, of course, Harpies. We all know what Harpies are, right? They are like half woman, half bird creatures. Looks funny, like the arms are missing, because the wings actually, the arms. I'm just saying this because once I watched some episodes of James and Mike Mondays, and James really didn't know what Harpies were. I mean, dude, how can you not? This is like... But anyway, back to the topic. Those Harpies use wind spells, and everything is included as spell books here too. Okay, the next creature is another one of those big frosty ones. Ice Titans. Yes, those fellas are certainly not small. I think much bigger than the original from Witcher 3 actually, but you know what they say, the bigger they are, the more fun it is to bring them down. And I have to admit, this guy was quite tough indeed. Reminded me on Karsak a little bit. Well, I said a little bit, obviously nowhere nearly as strong as Karsak. But as usual, a hard fight pays off in the end, and we get a nice trophy to keep. Okay, so weapons and armors next, right? And there's this weapon, there's clearly something unusual about it. I think it's better if it tells you itself. Staff of Sheogorath by Isha. It has a unique look with some nice animations, that's already a plus, but what's more interesting is the way you acquire it.
Boring, boring, boring! What's a Daedric prince to do?
Either those mermaids sold me the wrong kind of seaweed, or this stuff actually does talk. Yeah, if you have the Wabajack and go to bed, this crazy dude will yell at you a bit in the morning, and this is also how you get this item.
Ta-da! A twisted branch touched by the font of madness itself.
It has the same effect as the one in Oblivion, freezing people for 15 seconds.
That means something.
Very well done. It's also very practical to make Heimskar shut up, since it does not trigger hostility. And now I have a really crazy idea here. Wouldn't it be cool to give it a slightly different sound effect and call it Staff of Tsugi no Mod. Pilgrim Follower 12's Dragon Steel Sword by Pilgrim Follower 12. A good-looking weapon with a style fitting for an Imperial sword, I would say. There is a scabbard, but it appears to have bad textures, or shaders, or cube maps. I have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm not a modder, but it looks weird. Other than that, good stuff. Alright, about the armors, this time we only get a couple of outfits. Sweater, dresses and accessories by Refurb Madness. This here is obviously a very lore-friendly looking outfit, and this is also why I'm showing it here in the ether suit. Gotta use this place more often, it has some really great lighting. So this outfit consists of several parts which can be equipped separately. Fingernails, toenails, all kinds of different colors and materials. Good mod, next mod. The next mod is a bit lore-friendlier, but only a bit, because it's still far away from medieval times. Kozakowy 1660 gown by Kozakowy. A classic 17th century dress. Yes, there are some seams on the hands, this is just a better release for now, but it is indeed a very beautiful dress. And since I am in a good mood, we shall also check out a little quest mod. I'm just kidding here, because this quest mod is kinda special. The Lost Cavern of Prophecy by a certain burger-loving fellow YouTuber by the name of The World of Repax. He has been constantly spamming updates of his big upcoming mod, The Gemstone Prophecy, on Facebook, and this release here is sort of a prequel to it. So of course I am curious what all the ruckus is about. Let's see, the adventure starts at the Nightgate Inn, where we are supposed to meet someone. This must be it. Okay, no dialogue. The mod description said something about books, but there are no books in the inventory. Oh, silly me, there's the book right there on the counter. Buy Rip Eggs, that's definitely it. And the dialogue is actually inside the book. My brain is so full of fuck right now. Like, which wall are we breaking right now? So anyway, in the book that Lawrence chick or whatever her name was said we need to go to her camp and prepare for the upcoming adventure. And soon after that we already arrive at the Cavern of Prophecy. We glowy parts. There are some more books here and there too. I get it now. Those books are like cutscenes, but with text. The dungeon itself is pretty much a Nordic ruin with some extra parts here and there. The enemies are a bit tougher than vanilla ones. There are also some vanilla-style riddles here and there. And this is pretty much it seems. I guess the real action will start in the main mod, so we have something to look forward to. And this is it for this episode. The links to all mods are as always in the description below. Don't forget to endure the mods you like. And if you watched this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more stuff. If you do not do that, I won't review mods anymore. I thank you all for watching, and see you around.